I am Reverend Paris Eley.
And what is your association with this facility?
With Common Ground? I come to Common Ground as a volunteer, and occasionally I facilitate the groups here.
Okay. All right. So you work more with Sandy as a colleague, is that correct?
You could say that, but Sandy is so multifaceted. She's a colleague, she's a mother, she's a sister, she's a multi-purpose individual. Yeah.
Okay. Well, talk about it a little bit more. When you, what capacity you work with her, and how have you found that work to be in your association with her over the years, or how long?
So to answer your question most directly, I guess Sandy and I are colleagues and brother and sister in ministry. I met her here. Like I said, I was invited here to facilitate a group, and the energy was really good, and I started coming back sporadically even when I wasn't facilitating. And one of those days I came, Sandy was facilitating. And the Bible says, let your light so shine before men that they can see the good work. Like that, Sandy. And so I heard her, and I was just in awe. I think what's most powerful about her is that it is a ministry without judgment. It's a ministry that tramples on boundaries. I think so many people think ministry occurs inside a church edifice. But the truth is, you are your ministry, and you take the work you do everywhere you go. And so for me, when I encounter spirits, I'm looking for the consistency. And if nothing else, she's been consistent. Consistent in her care, in her concern, in her compassion. And for me, what's most powerful about that is that it developed in spite of barriers, societal and cultural barriers that are imposed to keep certain people down. So really, as a black woman, she should have succumbed. There are barriers in place to keep women from speaking and proclaiming gospel. There are barriers in place to keep people of color in certain positions, and yet she, as Maya Angelou would say, and still she rises. Yeah.
You used the word consistency, which I find a very interesting word, because I always think that that's how you identify truth, because truth seems to be consistent. Speak about that and what you get from her spiritually, and what she gives back to the clients here.
Well, to develop on the theme of consistency a little more, I've come across people in life who have what I call collegiate class personality. That is, you know, you go to college and there are classes that are given only on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays you take other classes. Well, I've come across people who are one way on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but then you catch them on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's something else, and God only knows what you get on the weekend. But with Sandy, there is consistency. It is the same level of care, not just every day, but with every person. And that, for me, is the huge difference, is that it's the same level of compassion with every person. Like, she wants every individual in that room to be their best. And I know it's challenging sometimes, you know, because when you want the best for people, they don't always necessarily want or reach for the best in themselves, but she's there, she's committed to the process, and I think that is phenomenal. Like, I've heard her say that she believes that God put her here. And I can see that. I think about the story of Mordecai and Esther, and Mordecai says to Esther, and who knows, but you were called for such a time as this. Yeah, consistent, always shining, always here, faithful. And I think a lot of times in community what we really lack is not creativity, not power, not resources. We struggle with issues of fidelity.
Let me just piggyback again with this theme of consistency, because consistently, with every person I've interviewed so far, they use the term mother in relation to her. Why do you think that is?
You know, I think with most people, not all situations, but most people, no matter what you're going through, if your mama says it's okay, it's going to be all right, you know it's going to be all right. And she doesn't have to have the answer. She doesn't have to have the solution. But if your mama said, baby, you're going to be okay, there's comfort in that. And I think that many people get that same comfort from her. A mother covers her children and she shelters them, but then she also gives them room to grow, to expand. She knows that falling is a part of the process of learning how to walk, and so she allows them to fall. A good mother doesn't tell the child what to do.